We are very pleased that after several years of conversation, last week, House Bill 849 was introduced with bipartisan support to establish the Georgia Civil Rights and Public Accommodations Law. Now, make no mistake about it, this law is not a good law. The legislation is far from adequate. It leaves many folks vulnerable, including women, the LGBT community, and people with disabilities. But for the first time since these debates started 3 years ago, we have had a group of bipartisan legislators that have said, let's try a different approach in Georgia. And over the last few years, as we've talked about it, many of my colleagues have questioned why communities of color that are already protected under federal law would be interested in a statewide civil rights law here in Georgia. But I think if you also look at what happened this last week, with a sitting legislator defending the KKK, with one of the highest-ranking officials at the Department of Education allowing his Facebook page to spew racial hatred and homophobia. We know that passing legislation here in Georgia that would reinforce the federal civil rights law and extend protections to the communities that are not currently covered under federal law is more than just making a statement. It is saying that Georgia is making a choice to move into the future and rejecting the shame, the damage, and the hatred of the past.